Hello guys, I'm back from another video, and this video we're talking about what if Deku had the demon summoning app redo. So in the last video we talked about how after Izuku came to Class 1B's dorms, he would tell all three of the UA traders, aka specifically Monoma, Kendo, and Ibara, to go with him to go to the League of Villains dorms. Or housing, or whatever you want to call it. Actually, more like the League of Villains base, to be more honest. Anyway, so after they did talk about how they're going to be joining the League of Villains, when they did, All for One decided for them to finally join. So, a bit of shenanigans basically happened, as when it's finally time for the UA Sports Festival, they basically summoned in the entire League of Villains, well, group, as they basically slaughtered the whole place, basically destroying it. So, after that, they basically left, as it's basically just some normal days, just like doing some stuff, until Izuku decided to go back to the League of Villains base as they captured Aizawa. Aizawa's quirk was basically taken from All for One, as for Izuku, he would kill him. So yeah, morale in Class 1A is basically downhill. So yeah, after that, Yuzuku came back home, as he basically gone to sleep. So yeah, that's basically what happened last episode, and so let's talk about what happens next. So, Izuku basically wakes up as he thinks, maybe I should go and do some more training in the demon world. I'm quite tired anyway, so as he would go to the same spot where he usually goes to, go to the demon world. As when he does, when he makes it there, it seems to resemble more of Shibuya, as Shibuya seems to look like, well, a literal hellscape. Several tracts of land are basically destroyed, burning buildings, and seeing several demons up in the sky fighting angels? These angels are fighting against these demons, as when he saw that, he would start running away. As when he saw something in the distance, a weird looking woman, to say the least. This woman is fully naked and has pale skin, and she seems to have a snake around her body, as she's being attacked by these weird looking demons. They look like one-eyed, upright elephants wielding swords. As they started charging at her, as she says this, hey, I'm supposed to be your goddamn leader. As one of them would say this, Kiramakala doesn't listen to a puny little demon like you. As he would charge his sword at her, as Izuku would jump over there, as he would deflect the attack. As Izuku would say this, are you okay? As she would say this, thank you, but who are you? Wait, you're a... As Giramakala, this demon, says this, wait, you're a Nahobino. I should be taking my leave. My master, she is calling to me. As he would leave, as Izuku would say this, what the hell is happening here? As this woman would say this, oh, it seems that my throne has been taken away from me by that stupid Ishtar. As Izuku would say this, Ishtar? As she would say this, yes, Ishtar, the woman who proclaims herself as the goddess of so-called beauty. I'm supposed to be the most beautiful here. Anyway, mind telling me your name exactly? As Izuku would say this, oh, the name's Izuku Midoriya. And how about you? As she would say this, do you seriously don't know me? I'm Lilith, the most powerful and most beautiful demon out of all of any other demons. In the Fem race, at least. As Izuku would say this. Okay. Anyway, why did you, as she would say this, the reason why I've been attacked is because of them, my Girmakala. My Girmakala decided to betray me and decided to side with her? Duh, makes me sick. Hmm? As she would look towards him as she would say this. Hey, I have an idea. How about you help me form a rebellion, and we shall take over this kingdom, and we shall take my throne back from that stupid Ishtar. As Izuku would say this. I don't know. As she would say this. Come on, don't worry. You'll gain lots of riches very soon. Or you want something else more fitting. As Izuku would say this. Fine. I'll just do whatever you want, okay? Just as long as it's nothing disgusting, to say the least. As she would say this. Good. Now, I want you to form an army that will be befitting of me, Ishtar. As Izuku would say this. Sure. So, a while has passed as Lilith would come back as she would say this. So, do you have my army? As Izuku would have an army of demons right behind him, including his other demons which he has captured or more or less have on his side. As Izuku would say this. So what do you think? As she would say this. Whoa, you're fast. Anyway, we shall attack at dawn very soon. So prepare, my soldiers. As one of them, being, well, Dionysus, would say this. Is that who we're fighting for? As Blackfrost would say this. She sounds like a hoe, he. As she would say this. What did you say? As he would say this. Nothing, he ho. As she would say this. That's what I thought. So, the next day comes as they're basically at a large looking temple like structure. As she would tell all of the soldiers to start charging in, as these weird looking angels would start appearing right in front of them as they started attacking these demons. So, when Izuku saw that, he thought this is the time for him to start sneaking into the castle. And so, he would start sneaking into the castle as he would meet two different demons. These demons look like this. The first one seems to be an angel clad in armor, but seems to have a crown and wait first golden wings and wielding a cross that is connected to a staff. The other looks like seems to be a red and black knight with an iron mask with green eyes looking at him. As one of them would speak, being the one with the staff cross, he would say this. I am the principality, so you dare stand before our mistress. Mistress, wait for a second. Mistress Ishtar, you dare, you damn heretic. As the other would say this. I am the powers. I am the angel that will preside your fate, and your faith is death. Your fate is to be doomed to hell for daring to trespass on this holy land. As Izuku would say this, holy lands? I'm sorry, but I don't speak asshole here. So, allow me to show you what I can truly do. You damn cunts. As something happens, he would summon in these. He would summon Fionn Makul and Satan. Satan would start to fight principalities. Principality would start using several blasts of pure light. As for the principalities, he would start using wind and fire attacks. For Finn Makul, it was pretty easy dodging all of the fire and wind, as he would stab powers right in the chest. As for the principalities, well, he would be crushed under the feet or tails. I mean, he doesn't have feet, technically. Yeah, he would be defeated by, you know, Satan. As when he goes towards the large door that they're guarding, he sees Ishtar. Ishtar on her throne, as she would say this. So, you must be the Nahobino that was summoned here. Why did you join these chaos insurgents? These chaos, this chaos. The demons that you decide to join are nothing more than fools who dare to serve the right of God. Try and see the light, my child, and you will see true happiness and nirvana. As he would say this, sorry, but no thanks. And besides, your God created quirks, so no thanks. As he would bring out his swords, as he would say this, two of you guys, go back into my cell phone. I'm gonna be fighting him alone. Or her at least. As she would say this. Very well. If you dare fight me, this will be your end. As she would charge in at him with a sword. As she would start slashing at him, slashing and slashing, but Izuku would keep dodging her as he would transform into his now albino form. Using his claw, he would slash at her face as she would say this. What did you do? You destroyed my natural beauty, you heretic! As she would charge at him, using her sword to start slashing at him one more time, as he would get stabbed right in the chest. But Izuku doesn't feel it. But instead, one of his minions, or the demons that he decided to, recruit for the army, specifically Dekarabia, which is a star demon that has just one eye, he would sacrifice himself, as he would say this. Sorry, but I won't let you hurt, Master. As Izuku would say this. Dekarabia. Why you? As he would start charging in at her for killing Dekarabia and slicing her head off, letting the blood spurt from her body. As Ishtar would be defeated, other angels would see this or feel that Ishtar is basically defeated as they started, escaping, trying to not get killed. As for Lilith, Lilith would take her throne as the queen of this area, as she would say thank you towards Izuku, as Izuku would be rewarded by a text message from his phone or a notification. Apparently he's able to craft, Lilith. Yeah, he's able to summon Lilith now. And so, he would leave as this place is now ruled over by Lilith. Definitely not a bad idea. Actually, it is true. It's not really a bad idea. I mean, she's sometimes a bit, lustful and vain, but most time, she does whatever she wants. Not anything that she wants, like, for example, destroying anything. So, yeah. So, when Izuku got home, he would create, Lilith. And so, he would go to sleep as it's the next day. Wait for a second. So it's finally the next day as everybody is talking about how they're going to be going to internships. After, you know, wait for a second, Jin will tell them that they're going to be going on to internships where they can learn some things about heroes or most of the time just like doing some work for heroes, like for example, helping them to become popular or something like that. Izuku would hear that as he would think, bastards. As he would be recommended towards several different, people, because after seeing his, academics and also his scores on tests, he would be pretty much useful to them. And so, when he saw all the recommendations, he would find something interesting. Hosu City. Wait for a second, wait for. Actually, I didn't meant Hosu City, I meant Shibuya, which is where Izuku is gonna be going to his internship. And apparently, there's going to be a villain attack there. He was told by this by Shigaraki and the other League of Villains members, including his future love interest, aka Miss Himiko Toga. After being told of this, he would decide to go there as when it's time for them to finally go there, he made it there without a hitch as he meets the leader of this group, as apparently he would tell them to just do whatever they want, just as long as it's the benefit of the company or the hero agency. Izuku was a pretty good guy there. Everybody's pretty much kind to him even though he's quirkless. Until it's finally the day. Yuzuku would tell every single League of Villains member that it's finally time for them to start their rampage, as he would put on his mask and his villain costume, as he would start going through all of the cities, causing some chaos. As while he's causing some chaos, he saw the heroes arriving as they started taking down the rest of the villains. Mizuka would say this, they can just leave it up to themselves. Besides, I'm gonna be doing some much more important business. He would decide to save some people, mostly civilians, but not saving people that, well, absolutely annoy him. For example, people that he saw that were his classmates back in middle school. He would let them die, including one person which was one of Bakugo's lackeys, as he would rip off his wings, as he would let him die in the rubble after that. So, after this, he would be in the alleyway, as he would see the hero killer Stain fighting against Native and Mr. What's his name? Ida, yeah. As when he saw Izuku, he would say this, "Who the hell are you? A new stupid fake hero, I'm guessing," as he would say this. "Oh, I'm no hero. Let's just say I'm just here to make them pay, to say the least." As he would bring up his blade, as he would say this. "And by the way, Mr. What's your name? Mr. Hero Killer?" As he would say this. "Yes. So what do you want?" As he would say this. "Oh, nothing. I just want you to kill him. I don't really care about him anyway. Either way, I'm just gonna be killing this hero over here." As he would say this. "Your guest." I meant, wait for a second. Yours then. I'll be having the kid." As he would say this. "Wonderful." As Native would start running away, as both his limbs would be ripped off in no time flat. As Native is basically there, just basically a vegetable as he's screaming for help, as Ida would start charging towards him, as he felt like his entire body is stopped. As he would see behind him Lilith, as Lilith would say this. "How do you like that, master?" As Izuku would say this. "You need some work, but still pretty effective." As when Stain saw that, he would say this. "The hell is that?" As Izuku would say this. "Oh, meet my associate. Meet Lilith. Now, as for you, Mr. Ida, Tenya Ida, I'm guessing? You're a friend of my bastard of a so-called best friend, Bakugo Katsuki, right?" As he would say this. "Wait, how do you know who he is?" As he would say this. "Well, let's just say I'm an old friend of his." As he would take off his mask, as when he saw him, he said this. "But I thought you were quirkless. As he would say this. "Shut up." As he would rip off both of his legs. As he would start screaming for help. As he would say this. "Being a friend of Bakugo makes you my enemy, and enemies shall die." As he would rip off his heart, showing it still beating, as he would die. As he would say this, so you hate fake heroes as well. As he would say this, I guess you could say that. And that is why I'm planning to reform this world. This world without fake heroes, but instead true heroes. But for you, my friend, I'll let you live. Maybe you can even join my little society. Society that doesn't care if you're quirkless or a quirk user, or even weak, strong, or even gendered. I don't really care, just as long as you're an actual good person. Unlike those so-called fucking heroes. Who dare call themselves heroes just because they save quote-unquote people when they just leave, when they see a person that's quirkless and suffering, and just letting them just suffer there, alone. That is what I want. A society that doesn't want people to suffer, unlike this one, which is now corrupted and disgusting. As when he saw that, he would say this. I consider you as a brand new hero, kid. Anyway, where are you perhaps going? As he says this. Going back to my place. I need to get some rest. As he would say this. Anyway, Mr. Stain, when we meet again, I hope you're ready because this society is going to be changed and you'll become one of my subordinates. Maybe at least. As he would disappear out of nowhere. As he would say this. That was interesting. As he would start leaving, being the hero killer Stain, natives dying and decaying body now laying on the ground with Ida. So, let's go back. Wait for a second. Let's go back to the heroes and the villains fighting. Well, the villains are basically being defeated by the rest of the heroes. They would start getting ready to, destroy them once and for all. Not really, destroying them, but more like putting them in Tartarus. Wait, sorry about that. But Izuku would show off. As Izuku would transform into his, wait for a second. Now Beano form. As he would start putting these heroes in their places. As in places, I mean 10 feet down underground, where they're basically just dead. Every single hero there, mostly low-level heroes, are killed, as the rest of the heroes basically started escaping until Endeavor would arrive, as he would say this. It's time for you to pay with your life, hero. It's time for you to pay with your life, villain. As he would say this. Villain, eh? Huh. Oh. Oh my god. You call me a villain just because I just like causing chaos, right? You're more like the ones that are causing chaos. You're just letting these villains escape Tartarus and many other places so they can just run rampant so you can save the day once again. It's more like I'm the hero here, taking care of the scumbags of this world. Just like you, Endeavor. That would say a lot for you, because of your wife. As when he hears that, he would say this. How do you know my wife? As he would say this. Oh, I visit her sometimes, and she told me how you were the one that, caused her frickin' insanity to start rampanting her brain, until she basically burned your son, Shoto Todoroki, right? Police helicopters and so many news broadcasters would hear this, as when the heroes are there just watching this, including Shoto himself, he would be just saying to himself, so, this villain knows my mother? As he would say this. Oh, and by the way, your wife, what a sweet lady. until you came along and ruined her. It makes me sick how you people exist. As electricity would start coming out of him, purplish electricity to be more specific, as he would start charging towards him and electrocuting his ass. As he would say this, "How do you like that?" As his body would start convulsing as he says this, "How the hell are you this powerful? My eye, I could see." As he would say this, "Oh yeah, and one more thing. The name's Limerick. And those who dare call upon my name are either asking for me to join them in their crusade against you and the rest of these false heroes, or just screaming out in fear because they're the false heroes, just like the rest of you so-called non-top 10 heroes of this world. Now, as for you there," he would come towards a cameraman as he would say this, "Mr. All Might," he would say that in a monotone voice, "because you told me that I couldn't become a hero just because I was quote-unquote quirkless, doesn't mean that you had to do that. You could have just said that you can become a hero in some ways at least." "It was your mistake anyway. Anyway, for you, All Might, I bid you adieu, because I no longer have any respect for you." As he would throw the cameraman and the camera down, as he would say this, "As for the rest of you people, I hope you're ready, because my little group, the League of Villains, will shape this world and make it what the world should be. A world filled with actual heroes, unlike these false and fake ones that care only about money and fame. Now, see ya." As he would disappear, leaving nothing but a trail of destruction in his wake. Many of the villains that basically survived, the whole, massacre, the villains were pretty much impressing Izuku, and many people that saw that maybe started rising up and joining the League of Villains. Many of the heroes were scrambling to try and find whoever this is, but All Might, when he heard that, he thought it might be Izuku, but it was impossible, unless if he met All for One, but still. But for Izuku was still in his dorms, basically resting, as he would say this, "Absolutely tiring." As he would get a knock at the door, as he would see all three of his friends. Wait first. Technically four, but still. Anyway, first we have Ibara, Kendo, not, wait for a sec, Monoma and Toga, as they would say this. "Whoa, Izuku, you were amazing in that speech." As Izuku would just say this. "Yeah, I kind of just spat it out all in my head and just said it out loud." As Toga would say this, "You were amazing, you just, wow, you sound like an actual villain, it was awesome." As Izuku would just say this, "Alright guys, calm down, besides, if somebody hears us, we'll just be fucked." As one of them would say this, "Oh, yeah, right." As Izuku would say this, "Anyway, so, we're not given our next mission yet, but after that, All for One might be a bit angry at us. So, yeah, after that day, they basically stopped talking as they started going back to their proper dorms. As for Izuku, he would lay down on his bed, as he would put his bed, not put his bed, more like put his phone onto his, chest, as he would go to sleep. So, yeah, this is going to be the end of this episode. And so, I hope you liked the video, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye!